To start this tale, I'll need to take you back to June of 2024. The Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree, has just released, and the final boss, it's hard. Now, people thought it was too hard, people just wanted him to die. I mean, but you see, even weapons like Blasphemous Blade, they just couldn't quite cut it. The main glitch that used to be used to one-shot Promised Concert of Dan was the Rolling Sparks Ash of War. But, have you heard about Rolling Sparks in a while? Hell, in a year? Yeah, no one uses it anymore. So what happened? Well, the Rolling Sparks glitch got patched. It used to be you could aim it all at the bottom, or at the floor of the arena, and it'd all just explode at once and kill the boss, but you can't do that anymore. But, how actually are they as weapons? Well, in this video, I'll be covering all 5 perfume bottles and going over all their pros and cons, then ranking them at the end, and then I'll go over an overall judgment on whether or not they're worth it. But before we go into the individuals, let's go over the class-wide pros and cons. For the pros, all of the perfume bottles weigh only a single unit, so they can serve as an easy offhand source of elemental damage or status build up. They can also be boosted by 20% with the Perfumist Talisman, which can be stacked with a 2-handed sword talisman, which you'll be getting at a similar time as the bottles since both are in the DLC, for an easy 35% damage boost on all attacks. Overall damage also isn't terrible. Like, they're not the best, but comparing them to some of the weapons covered already, they are glorious. As for the cons, for all the infusible ones, the unique Ash of Wars are kinda eh. Ashes of War, not Ash of Wars. Rolling Sparks got cast down into obscurity, and Wall Sparks has always just been okay. And you can only use a select few Ashes of War, like Storm Stomp, Bloodhound Step, so they also do pretty god-awful poise damage, so don't count on a stagger. And even if you do get one, you can't riposte, so you won't be doing much with it. I'll start with the least unique ones, then move on to the more unique ones. I'll start with the fire one. This is the first of the 2 basic ones. It really does what it says in the tin. It's a 1 unit source of fire damage with a B scale index that excels at nothing and is terrible at nothing. It's kind of funny that these already existed as consumables in the base game though. At 60 in all offensive stats, and this bread and water item takes the most unremarkable spot at number 3 out of 5 in damage, by 1 point above its competitor at 512 damage. As for the lightning ones, again, they do what they say in the tin, but lightning damage is usually better than fire damage. It has a D-scaling index and a D-scaling in faith, and at 60 in all offensive stats, it takes position as a clear winner out of the ones without any status ailment, and a respectable overall 2nd place damage wise over the Fire Spark by 24 points at 536 damage. Next up is the chilling perfume bottles. These do magic damage with frost build up. Magic damage is probably my least favourite elemental type, as nothing's really weak to it. It can usually be addressed by how strong most spells are, but on a perfume bottle, that's different. However, frost is still a really good status ailment, and the damage debuff it puts on is really good. Overall, at 60 in all offensive stats, these come in at a not so cool 4th place with 511 damage, although they are 43 points ahead of the Deadly Poison perfume and only 1 below the Fire Spark, but it does have frost, which, spoiler warning, does definitely put up a Fire Spark in my opinion. Next up we have the Frenzy bottles. To start with the obvious, yes, it's the best for NPC fights. Gideon, Adan, Esgar, Leda and her cronies, they all lose it. Mike will be fine though, he's immune to status. But what about the actual damage? It's kind of a double-edged sword. It has the most scalings of all the bottles, scaling with strength, Dex, Int and Faith. Deep Protection would be proud, but it has the weakest scalings in each stat at D in Strength, C in Dex, D in Faith and D in Int, so you can either dump 60 into 1C scaling or split 15 points into 1C and 3Ds. So realistically at lower levels the others do far outclass it, but at higher levels it does shine and it can get the highest damage of the bunch. So if you're using perfumes in higher new game cycles, this will be the one for you. At 60 in all stats, it has the highest damage at 550 damage, 14 above the lightning perfume. Having the best damage and a status ailment does make it sound like a strength in first place, but Frenzy isn't that good, and it does also have the lowest floor as well as the highest ceiling. Yeah, I'm almost at 100 subscribers, so honestly I'd really appreciate if you could drop a sub. You know, I'll probably do something special for 100. Well, I haven't decided what yet. But yeah, I don't know. If I had a bigger audience, I'd probably like stream Night Room viewers or something, but I don't kind of do it into that. So, who knows? But yeah, if you just drop it to subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. Thanks. Last, but maybe not least, is the deadly poison perfume bottle. This is the only perfume bottle that has scaling on its status, but comparatively other weapons, its build up is still bad. With a C scaling and Dex and Arcane, it does the lowest damage of the bunch, but the poison ticking down definitely does help keep up. It also has a unique Ash of War and Deadly Poison Spray, which does have the bonus of being a very easy way to proc Kindred of Rot's Exaltation / Mushroom Crown / Poisoned Handle, which should really only be previously done through consumables, so it does have a use in other builds too. I mean, I think if you're actually trying to get a damage over time effect though, you really should just use Scarlet Rot and only have this proc Exaltation. At 60 in all damage and stats, this unfortunately does come in last by a decent margin at 468 damage, 43 points below chilling, and as said, a poison can help with the damage and it does have pure physical damage, so it's less likely I have troubles with resistances, although the fact you can infuse so many physical weapons with poison for way more build up kind of negates this, but who cares? This isn't about them, this is about perfume. But now, that was the question. What one's the best? At number 5, I'm going to have to go with Fire Spark. It just doesn't have anything really going for it. Middling overall damage, only skills in one stat, no unique qualities, and only beats out the one below it that has a status ailment by 1 damage. You can use it for firing on a dex build though. Hooray! At number 4, I'm going to go with the Deadly Poison Perfume Bottle. The damage is still the worst, and poison really still isn't that great. Its unique Ash of War does have a use outside the perfume builds though, so it does have that. At number 3, I'm going to go with the Frenzy Flame Bottle, as well it does have the best possible damage. It's too much of an investment to the point where, even in the post game when you get it, another will be better at the time. At number 2, I'm going to go with a Lightning. It's just solid damage. That's it. I have nothing else to say. Did you guys know I benched 245? At number 1, I'm going to go with the Chilling Perfume Bottle. Frost just really is that good. Its damage is only 39 away from the top at 60 and everything, and the defense debuff from Frost pushes it to number 1, plus just the chunk of damage taken from Frost. So congratulations to Frost. This doesn't actually answer the question. Are they worth it? In conclusion, I'd say not really. They're an okay novelty weapon, and they're far from straight up terrible. Yeah, after they got nerfed, they're just sort of chugging along. They're all like C to like low B tier. They're nothing super special, but compared to the other stuff I've talked about before, they are godly. speaking of other stuff I've talked about before, from now on, at the end of every weapon video, will be a tier list of every weapon I've ever ranked. And here's today's one. But anyway, I do appreciate you sticking to the end. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. See you later.